What's going on, guys? It's Danny from Slow Restoration, and we have the Turbo GMC up on the lift. It's the original Turbo GMC, and it's time to start the refresh process on this. First thing we're going to do, we still have, this is my drag pack, the smaller tires. So we're actually going to take these off and put the 35s back on. It's dirty, but we have a plan for that. And as you can see, I think I've mentioned this before. Most people probably would never notice, but because of the turbo system and the intercooler piping, I don't have my step on this side, but I do on this side. So we're just gonna, with the new look we're going for, we're gonna lose this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off. Like I said, we're gonna swap our 35s back on, and that's gonna be the start of the process. If anyone questions the spinning abilities of the Turbo GMC, it puts rubber everywhere. It's caked in here. We definitely need to get this cleaned up. Bed supports, if you go inside here, all of that is just packed full of rubber. Same with the back here. So we definitely need to get all that cleaned up and back to I don't know, decent looking condition. Like I said, we're gonna, yeah, look at the quarter panel here, the bedside, even back on the bumper. Shoo! I can't believe those tires have any tread left on them at all. But we're definitely gonna get this thing looking a little bit better than it does now. It's not that it's in bad shape. Like I said before, it just needs a refresh. It's looked like this pretty much since I bought it new and then lifted it. So definitely time to update the look and clean it up a little bit. Take care of the old girl. Forgot how big this truck is with the 35s on it. We got our side steps off, and it looks way taller with the 35s and the side steps off. These are Hummer H2 wheels, and we always ran the GMC centers, but now I got the Hummer center cap snapped in. They don't fit in the back because of the hub, but if I ran wheel spacers, like 1.25" wheel spacers, they would snap on. So that might be an option. I'm not sure yet. As everyone knows, these GMs, the back track width is narrower than the front, so we may consider that. But it's just a nice change seeing the Hummer center cap snapped into the front and the 35s back on without the side step. I'm liking it so far. It's got a little ways to go yet though. Alright guys, the next step in prepping the Turbo GMC for its new look is we do have to change this door. It does have some damage, and I happen to have a door. It's got a dent here and a few small ones here. I happen to have a door off of a Suburban that I parted out a couple years back. It's the exact same color. So we're just going to swap this out instead of trying to fix this door right now. Obviously, still a good door, just needs a little body work. But to remove these doors real quick, it's very easy. Pop this side panel off, pop your kick panel off, makes it a little bit easier to get to the wiring, and it just kind of pops straight forward. You can pop this sill plate up a little bit, helps that move this way. There's a clip here, allows that kick panel to slide back. Once you do that, this wiring comes through. There's the accordion piece here. Unpops, you can reach from the inside and push the clips. Unpop this from the door jamb. The green wiring, there's 2 plugs. Unplug it from the fuse block here, for the junction block, and then we can just fish this right through the door jamb. Now our door is completely unhooked. Now to take this door off, if you never removed it, it's actually extremely easy. There's one 10 millimeter bolt right here for the door stop. And if we open this door up a little bit more, there's a 10 millimeter bolt right there, and right there on the hinge. Once you get those off, the door simply lifts straight up off the hinge and you remove it. You can have one of these doors removed in easily 5 minutes. And with those 3 bolts removed, we have the door stop. We have this one removed and the one down here removed. Like I said, it's 3 bolts. And now Usually easier if you just kind of push that in out of the way. That's about as far as it's going to go right now. So now we should make it a little bit easier. We can fish this wire through now. I'll fish that through, and then it's just a matter. Sometimes they get a little stuck, but pretty much you're going to lift. If I shut this door a little bit, you're going to lift straight up. Obviously, you're going to want to be very careful with your fender. You don't scratch it or the edge of your door. Since we're replacing this door at this time, it doesn't, well, I still don't want to scratch any of the bodywork. So you want to open it up and just kind of put your knee under the front and lift straight up. Sometimes you got to wiggle a little bit, it'll pop right off, and then you can just remove the whole door. There we have our harness routed through. Like I said, there's little clips on the rubber piece. The flexible piece you push in, it pops through the door jamb. Just carefully pull your wiring through, and now all it's left is lift this door right up off. And there we have it, guys. The wider you open it, the more room you have on this front. But as you can see, the door hinge has pins that stick up, and they just go right into the door. Everything's welded on, so this part of the hinge is welded to the door. This part of the hinge is welded to the truck. And once you remove that bolt, you simply just, like I said, lift up off. Wow, really looks weird. Like I said, within 5 minutes, you can have the complete door off the truck. Crazy. So once again, with the plans we have for this truck, this trim needs to go. So you got to be real careful. These are Teflon, like a Teflon plastic. There is an edge we can. So once you pull that back, you can use this kind of sharp edge to cut that adhesive. It actually cuts pretty nice. You want to keep it off the paint as much as you can. It's fairly easy to do because the adhesive sticks a little bit better to the paint, it seems, than the trim. A lot of people use different methods like fishing line and whatever to get these off. I've always had pretty good success with just this. So let's go ahead and get this spear off. Obviously our door, the door, actually, that's another reason we're taking this stuff off, because the door was a Chevy, so it had different trim. The interior was the same color, the exterior was the same color, so other than the trim, it should be identical. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this trim off. We're getting pretty far through here. As you can see, we're not even really hurting the trim at all. So we're just pulling it out, taking that tool and kind of cutting that adhesive. Now this adhesive is older, it's a little bit dry. So if you had new, it may not work quite as well. This truck is an 04, so like I said, it's a little older. So there you got it. We got that piece off. Like I said, the trim piece, we didn't destroy it. It's actually still good, except for the bubbling that was in the chrome, and that's part of the issue with these trucks. That stuff bubbles, and as you can see from the back side here, the chrome is actually flaking as we pull it off also. So we may be able to do something with these. I'm definitely going to hold on to these. We may end up wrapping them and reinstalling them at some point. We'll see. I think I can probably get rid of that coating and smooth these out, but yeah, we'll just hang on to these. Who knows, we might end up using them, we may never use them. All right, so now obviously we have the adhesive. This looks like rust, but it's actually the adhesive where it went to the trim. As you can see there, it's well off the paint, so that's where the chrome was flaking. You can grab this stuff with your fingers and just kind of work it off. I think the paint is actually really nice underneath, should be. There are, spots where the dirt got through, but I think that'll buff up nice once we get this trim off, or the glue off. We'll work on that later. Now let's get the rest of the trim. We're also going to go ahead and remove these. This truck was an SLT. Obviously it had leather and heated seats and stuff like that, but you can see the slight discoloration in the T. It's actually peeling off by itself. So the adhesive is already failing, so it's not going to take very much to take that off. Again, we're going to try and save these as much as possible, but like I said, it's already slightly damaged just from the years, the age on it. So let's get these off and we'll move to the other side of the truck. All right guys, that actually came off really easy and we did not damage that any more than it already was. So we'll set that aside and hang on to this too. Another one removed off the front door, nice and cleanly. This one isn't as bad. It does have some slight bubbling. Again, we're gonna clean these and see if we can reuse them at some other point, or maybe someone else can use them. It's plastic, so it bends right back into shape. All right guys, we got our SLT badge off. We got a door or extended cap part off, door piece. I guess we should probably address these. These again suffer from fading. This GMC used to be, I believe it used to be orange. And it's typical on these, they do fade. I do like these emblems, so again, we're gonna try our best to save this as we take it off. I put the 6-liter turbocharged on, so these are just aftermarket. We're not so concerned. They're coming off also, but we're not so concerned with those. Hopefully they come off nice, but yeah, let's keep moving on this. We got those emblems off also. Probably not clean enough to reuse. Yeah, so whatever. They sell these 2500 HD GMC emblems, so not too concerned with that. Definitely have a lot of adhesive to still get off, but the trim is now off. The other door, replacement door for the passenger side, does have a trim piece on it, but like I said, it's a Chevy trim piece, so it's wider and it's just different. So it's coming off anyway. I think the only thing trim-wise we have left is the tailgate. All right guys, we got the Sierra off the tailgate also. I really wanted to try and keep this emblem, and that gray in the background is kind of delicate, so if you bend this emblem, as you can see, it's pretty straight. If you bend it too much, it will crack that paint or coating in there. So I mean, this is pretty nice. It's just a little dirty. So what we ended up doing, we got the end of it pried out just a tiny bit, and we took some, actually, I think it's 50-pound braid fishing line. And if you're gonna do this, wrap it around something so you can pull it, because it will cut in your fingers pretty severely. So the braid really cuts nice. Just kind of take your time, let the fishing string do the work. If you don't know what braid is, it's rough it's not smooth, so it's a like braided line, and it's very, very strong, and it's got some cutting power to it. So we put our pry bar in the end, got our fishing string started, cut so far, kept moving this in just to pull it away a tiny bit without flexing that emblem, and it cut through, I don't want to say like butter, but it cut through pretty nice. So we're going to do the same thing with this GMC. Obviously if we flex it too much, it's going to crack that reflective GMC also. So I want to keep this one also. So let's see if we can get that cut off. All right guys, I'll set you up there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. We have the braid started, and it's actually, you can hear it cutting. All right, I lost my grip, but in a little bit of no time, we're almost through the G. So let me finish this up. All right guys, I just got through, so we should be able to just pull that right off. Is that a better way? I'm gonna say probably yes. It cuts right through the adhesive, so there's less adhesive actually on the paint, and it saves your emblem for sure. So if you're dead set on saving the emblem, definitely try and use some fishing string. Like I said, this is braid. Probably not going to be able to see it, but I believe it's 50-pound braid. It's very strong, and it's abrasive as far as its cutting power, so that works really well. So now we have the GMC and the Sierra off. We just need to get this adhesive cleaned up, and we are now debadged. Well, almost. We still got to get rid of these 4x4s. That's just a sticker. All right guys, you probably don't know, my garage does have a loft and don't have stairs built for it yet, so we have this set of, or this ladder, and this is obviously where I have my door stored, among other things. So it is a little warmer up here. We had the heat on. So let's see if we can pull this trim piece off. Like I said, this was a Chevy door. It was a Suburban. Should be the same fit. but let's see if we can get that trim piece off before we even pull it down. All right, so we were successfully able to remove that piece too. Again, it's got the adhesive, but we'll get that cleaned up. Now to get this down there. All right guys, you can see we're outside here. We did get the door on. Seems to fit nice so far, especially at nighttime. The color is pretty nice. So this is off to another place and it's going to continue to refresh. All right guys, we've arrived at the next stop here. As you can see, it is Pristine Auto Detail. They are going to do a detail for us and get it prepped for the next stage of the refresh. Any guesses what that's going to be? All right guys, we're back home and we have a huge hole here where the Turbo GMC was sitting, and I can't remember the last time I haven't had that truck here. So it's definitely part of the family. Like I said, I bought it new, and I don't remember leaving it overnight anywhere, to be honest with you. So it is what it is. I know it's in good hands, and can't wait to see what it looks like when we pick it up and be able to reveal what the next step after picking it up from this next step.